Today we're speaking with Lyman lead singer and guitar player Jacob Bunton. How are you doing today, Jacob?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And now, reason we're talking today is because your band Lyman recently put out a new EP. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's actually Lynam, L-I-N-A-M.
Lynam. Okay.
It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, we just released a new record. It's the EP. It's called Halfway to Hell. It came out December 17th. And it's got 6 songs. And it's pretty much picks up where our last studio album, Tragic City Symphony, left off. We added a new member since then. We added Lonnie Paul from my other band, Adler. And so now Lynam is a 4-piece instead of a 3-piece. But things are going great. The new record, the new reaction to all the reaction from the new record has just been overwhelming, been amazing. And we've got a tour set up for, after it gets warm, a spring tour, and we'll be announcing those dates soon.
Oh, that's great. So now let me ask you, talking about the lineup change you guys recently went through, why did the previous guitar player leave?
Which one?
The guitar player that Lonnie came in and replaced. I'm just curious, why did you guys make the change in the lineup?
Well, Lonnie didn't take anybody's place. We were always a 3-piece.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We just added a guitar player, so we added Lonnie.
Oh, that's great. Now, let me ask you, because I myself have always preferred bands that had like 2 guitar players. So, kind of whose idea was that? Because do you think it's just going to help make the sound of the band, a little, better, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll definitely fill out the sound live. And, the decision came when we were on tour with Adler. I really hit it off with Lonnie, and Lynam went along on the Adler dates as Adler's road crew, my drummer David, and we just really hit it off with Lonnie. Felt like he would be a great addition to Lynam.
Yeah, that's great. Because just even talking about Adler for a minute. I mean, you and Lonnie, like I was telling you guys last time when I talked to you, you guys just are such a great songwriting team. So I imagine for his new EP, he was allowed to come in and help with the songwriting as well.
Absolutely. He wrote a song called Dead Man's Parade, and it's one of my favorite songs on the record. He's a tremendous songwriter, tremendous guitar player, and just tremendous talent all the way around. He's a great dude.
And so let me ask you, Jacob, of course, most people know you guys from Adler, but you were actually in this band Lynam before you were ever in Adler. Is that correct?
That is correct. And when I joined up with Adler, I never left Lynam.
Yeah.
Never broke up or anything. It was just, Adler was just another band. And Lynam's been the band I've been a part of now for many years. And so,
for people who don't know the history of Lyman, I was curious, how long have you guys been together?
We have been together for like 10 years.
Yeah, and I was surprised when I was doing research for this interview. You guys have got quite a nice catalog of music. You released something like 7 or 8 albums, right?
Yeah, 7. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so, at this point, when you guys are getting ready to gear up and go on tour, do you know if you'll be doing any headlining shows? You'll be opening up for anybody?
We're going to do both. We're going to do a bunch of headlining shows. We're also going to do some support dates as well, and we're going to do some festivals this spring. So, we've got a pretty full itinerary set up.
And so I imagine you guys will be going all around the world, or are you going to concentrate mainly on the United States right now?
Just right now, the United States, but that can always change. Yeah, that's the great thing about rock and roll. You never know what's going to happen from day to day. Literally, it's the most unpredictable business there is, other than the stock market,
And so let me ask, now that, you've got your partner Lonnie in the band as well, like when you and him, write a song together, is it difficult to know, like, I think this would be better for Adler, I think this would sound better for Lyman, or, being that it's the same team writing the stuff?
No, we never do that. We just write songs for, if we're doing something for Adler, the songs that we're writing at the time pretty much, were Adler songs that we're writing for
Yeah.
A drummer changes the feel of everything. You know, it can literally make the same song sound completely different. So, you know, whatever song you're doing, whatever band you end up recording it with, you know, it's, you know, providing you're not just programming drums. You know, when you have a drummer, it changes everything, changes the feel, changes the sound, everything. So, if we write a song and we go in and record it for Adler, it doesn't sound like Lyman. It sounds like Adler because of that drumming style. And same thing with Lyman. When we write a song for Lyman and we go in and we record it, and it's got David playing on it, but it sounds like Lyman. But it sounds so weird that a drummer can, you know, can dictate, you know, what a band sounds like, but it really does. It's blueprint, you know, it's the backbone of the band, and it changes, you know, everything depending on the feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people would be surprised, you know, hear that because most people typically they think it starts off with, you know, like the guitar players and the lead singer, and you know, oddly enough, both these bands that you're in, they're both kind of centered around the drummers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't mind me asking, because last time I talked to Lonnie, you know, Adler was just getting ready to go on tour, but then you guys had to cancel his tour dates because Steven was going back into rehab. How's he doing? And I was curious, is the band still together? You guys on hiatus, or what's going on with all that?
Yes, Steven's doing very well. He's staying at home, and he's, you know, still concentrating on his health and his sobriety and everything, which is that's the number one thing. The band never broke up. There's just no plans to do a tour. You know, our main focus and our main concern is Steven just being healthy, and we're all very close. We all love each other very much, and you know, so no, but everything is good.
And I think that's great because I mean, especially you and Lonnie now being in the two bands together, it kind of allows you know, while he's getting his stuff together and getting healthy, you know, concentrate on this other band, Lyman, and you know, so I imagine like for this rest of this year, you guys will be concentrating on Lyman. And do you think when it's time to get back to Adler, you guys will start maybe thinking about recording another CD or?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the rest of this year is definitely going to be focused on Lyman and promoting the Halfway to Hell CD and tour. And yeah, man, we're just going to go out and have a good time, do what we do.
And let me ask you again. You know, you guys are a band that I was surprised to hear has been around. You know, 10 years. You know, and I recently seen the video you guys put out for the new single, and I was just kind of amazed. I got to tell you, it looks like it's, you know, really professionally shot. It looks like something, you know, you would see on MTV, if you know what I mean. It doesn't, you know, look like it was filmed in somebody's garage, you know.
Well, thank you very much, man. We take pride in everything that we do, and we put thought into everything that we do.
So as far as
we don't half-ass anything.
So as far as the video goes, did that take a while? Did it take like a couple days for you guys to film it, or?
It did. It was over the course of 3 days. It was 1 day of doing all the band shots, and then 2 days of filming the storyline. Okay,
and I was curious now, when you guys hit the road, how do you go about picking the set list? I mean, I imagine you got certain songs you got put in the set, but like how much of a new album do you think you'll be playing?
We'll probably be playing. Actually, we'll be playing the entire Halfway to Hell record.
Oh, that's
story. You know, there's 6 songs, so we'll be playing that whole record every night. And you know, in the instances where we're opening up for somebody and we only have 30 minutes, it's still going to be a majority of Halfway to Hell. But we'll also play the songs that, you know, that we have to play, like our singles that the fans want to hear. So you know, we'll figure it out as we go. But as far as like picking the set, you know, the entire, you know, headlining shows for the entire tour, we don't ever write out set lists. You know, we discuss what song we're going to open up with as we're walking to the stage, and that's as far as we get. It's like, hey, we're going to open up with Tannis, or we're going to open up with Halfway to Hell. We're going to open up, you know, with whatever we're going to open with, and that's the only discussion we have, and we usually plan that while we're on stage.
and yeah, so I was curious, Jacob. Now, obviously, bringing in a second guitar player, that obviously fattens up the sound a little bit. I imagine that gives you a lot more freedom too. You know, not to focus so much on the guitar. You're able to concentrate more on singing. Is that something you think you're going to be enjoying a little more?
Yeah, I have been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun having another guitar player. That way, I can put the guitar down sometimes and just front the band. I enjoy that.
And I was curious, you know, when you guys formed the band, was there any reason why you didn't have a second guitar player? Did you guys just think you didn't need it, or matter if you just couldn't find it?
Yeah, we just didn't need it at the time. We started out playing, just three of us, and we just never really felt like we needed it. And the only reason we got one is just because, like I said, we hit it off with Lonnie so well, and his talents, undeniably such a great songwriter and guitarist. We knew that he would add something to the band, so the time was finally right, to add somebody, and that's why we did it.
And so I noticed, Jacob, you have a little kind of a twang to your voice. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I grew up in a place called Tarrant, Alabama. Tarrant.
Okay, and I'm sure it was because you live out here in Los Angeles now, correct?
Yeah, back and forth between there and Birmingham.
And is Lyman based out of LA too?
No, based out of Birmingham.
Oh wow, okay. And so these are guys that these guys you grew up with?
Yeah, not necessarily grew up with, but people that we met a long time ago, and we became great friends. People I've always been really close to, for sure.
And of course with things happening for you being in Adler, and people are starting to pay a lot more attention to this band. Have you guys discussed anything about the possibility of maybe putting out some kind of like a DVD down the line?
Yeah, we've thought about that for a long time. We've just never done it yet. But main reason is because it's like with the power of YouTube and the availability of YouTube now, it's easier just to film something and just throw it up on YouTube and just call it a tour diary or something. It's just instant. But who knows? We might end up doing one at some point.
Yeah, and talk about the power of internet. I mean, it must amaze you, like a guy that is from Alabama, and you spend half your time between Alabama and LA. You must get emails and stuff from halfway around the world, places that the band hasn't even performed, and that must kind of trip you out.
It does. It's really cool. I mean, we get emails from every country. We get CD orders from every country. It's really cool when you realize you have a fan, in Belgium or somewhere like that you've never even been. So it's really surreal. It's really cool, and that's also the power of the internet these days. It's like we're one world. It's not everything seemed like it used to be a world apart. Now everything is kind of like we're one world. It's very easy to communicate with everybody. I was having a conversation with a fan in France the other night. They speak French, they don't speak English, but you can use Google Translator, and every time that they would send me, a message on Facebook or whatever, I would just go to Google Translator, translate it to English, type my response back, translate it to French, and send it back to them. So it was pretty interesting, pretty cool.
That's totally cool. And again, that like you said, that just shows you the power of the internet, and to me that's a real super fan. I mean, somebody loves your music that much, and you got a language barrier, a bit of it, but yet because of the power of the internet, so to speak, they're hearing your music and they're able to communicate with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing.
Talk a little bit about your fan base. I mean, are you finding that like with this latest release that you have a lot of the same fans, or I imagine you're also getting a lot of new fans as well?
It's really cool. Our fans that have been with us since the very beginning are still with us, and they've evangelized to other people, and so our fan base has grown and grown and grown, and now we have lots of fans all over the world, and it's just like I said, it's definitely amazing, and you know how it is when there's a band that you like, whether your favorite band is Kiss or My Chemical Romance or whatever your favorite band might be. When you really latch onto that band and you latch onto those songs, you become a part of that tribe, and so it's really cool to see people, react to our band the way that we used to react to the bands that we loved growing up, and still do.
I mean, the best example of that is like you and Lonnie were telling me that Adler had played on the Kiss cruise last year, and Kiss fans are just really rapid like that, and I mean they're really diehards. And on that note, I got to ask, do you see that a lot of the new fans you're getting are people that first became aware of you because of Adler, and then they found out, oh, he's got this other band, I'm gonna go check this out?
Yeah, it's definitely, and by the same token, people found out about Adler that were fans of Lyman, like some of the younger kids that weren't necessarily big Guns N' Roses fans, like somebody that's like 14 or 15 years old that wasn't a huge Guns N' Roses fan, but yet they had seen Lyman play in their hometown, opening up for Papa Roach or Hinder or something like that. They were big fans of Lyman, so when they heard the singers with Adler or whatever, they would check out Adler. So it's worked both ways, but definitely it's worked one way more than the other. People getting exposed to Lyman through Adler. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's been pretty crazy.
I think the cool thing, about it, especially for you, Jacob, is I remember hearing about, Lyman, years ago, like on MySpace. I'm not having, and this is for you, the band Adler was even together, and so a lot of people, they can't even say, this guy, he got his big break, in Steven Adler's band. You've been doing this for years before you even were playing with Steven or anything, and and so that's kind of the great thing about this, that you got both bands going, but you've been doing this this original thing for years. And the thing that trips me out is people say, oh yeah, that band, they're on MySpace or whatever, but you guys are still kicking it out, and that's, to me, that's what it's all about. And so again, you've been doing this for years, and now you have both bands going, and I think that's just really great.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love my life for sure.
And so you guys are pretty much just getting the word out about the album, and so how does everybody in the band get along? Pretty well, I imagine.
Literally, this band is my family. This band are my best friends in the world. Like literally, I mean, my best friends in the world. And so it's everybody gets along great.
And it seems like as far as a record company and the publicist and everything, you guys got a great team of people behind you. But I kind of get the feeling that Lyman especially, that you guys you do a lot of stuff on your own. As far as I kind of get the feeling you guys are the ones, when you get CD orders, you send the CDs out, you sign stuff, and you do a lot of the stuff as far as even this self-promoting of a band. Is that kind of right what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's part of what we love doing. It's like when I was a kid, like I said, I remember loving the bands that I loved more than anything in the world, and also our merchandise is extremely cheap out on the road. Because I remember, I grew up a really poor kid, and if we had enough money to go see a band, I was never able to get a T-shirt or a poster or anything like that because they were expensive. So one thing that Lyman does is every night from the stage, we tell everybody, hey, we're going to be at the merch signing. We want to meet everybody in here. And also we do a pay what you want system, pay whatever you can system, where we, we'll sell T-shirts sometimes for $5. We'll sell CDs sometimes for, whatever people can afford. Just at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that there's kids out there, or just fans in general, adults, kids, whatever, that are into the music and they want the music. We want to make sure that they get it.
And that's totally cool. And I imagine being at the point in your career where you're still able to go out and talk to the fans after show, that must be pretty cool. Because I imagine that while you're in both bands and they're pretty successful, that you're still able to go out in your everyday life and not get too recognized.
Yeah. We always get recognized as somebody, even if people don't know who we are, because we look kind of strange. We're extremely tall. And,
like, he's got to be in a band. Look at that hair.
He's got black hair and everything else. So people always recognize it. It's never like an incognito type thing. They might not know we're in Lyman or Adler, but they're like, oh, what band are you guys in? So, there's always a lot of that.
Yeah. And so, any chance that you guys, I was curious, like especially Lyman, you guys ever thought of doing like an acoustic or unplugged, either CD or performance?
Yeah, we have actually, and plan planning on doing something like that really soon, for sure.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. So, like I said, you guys got the one video out of you. Have you discussed the possibility of doing any more videos for this new, latest release?
Yeah, we're doing a video for Store Bought Halo. It's in the works right now. It's actually a animated video, a cartoon video, and and then we'll definitely have some more videos off this record.
And so, I guess from what you're saying, you've been getting a pretty good response. So, you said the tour is going to kick off in March. Is that correct?
Yeah, somewhere between June and May.
And then the plan is just to, tour on it as much as you can for, I guess, the remainder of the year.
That's right.
Okay, well, Jacob, I gotta thank you once again. It's been great talking to you. Is there anything that you'd like to let your fans know before we go?
Yeah, check us out on all the social sites: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. Our tag is Lyman Music, Lynam Music, Music. Except for YouTube, it's Lyman Sucks, but everything else is Lyman Music. So check it out. Cool.
And let me just tell you before I let you go, Jacob. I think it's going to be going in our March issue. I'll let your publicist know once we get the date of that. And I did record the CD, so if you'd like to have a copy of the interview, I could send that to you.
Thank you, man.
Thanks again. Let Lonnie tell Lonnie I said hi, and if you see Steven, let him know that we're thinking about him, and we hope he gets healthy and is doing good.
I'm going to see him on Wednesday night, so I'll let him know.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks again.